So I just wanted to come and show you guys what I'm doing here. It's just that I'm facilitating a workshop next Friday. The project that I want the attendees to work on is to make a shopping bag. The main thing about the bag is the bottom of the bag. You can make it standard square bottom. Let me show you. Let me just come back. Oh, okay. I felt like that took a long time. Thank God for editing. Oh my goodness, how would this go? My hair this way, yeah, that way. So the project that I want the attendees to actually focus on is to make a shopping bag. Right, so I did a video. If anything, I can leave it here or put the link below or something, showing you the different style of bottoms or bag bottoms. This is one of them where you have the V here, but I'm not going to do these ones, although they're quite simple. Some people get very overwhelmed when they see certain things, and it's not difficult at all. It's not difficult. Maybe because I know what I'm doing, because people often tell me, you know what you're doing, so you can say it's easy. But it is. When you do it, you'll see how easy it is. And then this is another one, but the V is on the side here. This is another one, just the fold in the side. But what I want them to do, just a basic square bottom. It's like what I call this a paper bag style. You know, the paper bag with the crease on the side here and things like that. Today is just a very cloudy day. Right now it's raining. When the weather is like this, you just want to stay indoors, you know what I mean? Under the covers. But me, sometimes I get restless. I can't stay at one place, and that is the problem. I don't think it's a problem, but that's the issue I have. You know, when I'm relaxing, you know, I'm sick. Or I'm just having a lazy day, like everybody does, you know. So yeah, so that's it really. So the workshop should be next week. As I said, it's like we just wanted something for the attendees to work with, something that they can use, basically, not just doing anything. There are a lot of projects that you can work on. You can make handkerchiefs, you can make coasters, you can make so many different things. Like, for example, in this folder I have a few things that I made up. For example, I have this coaster here, and it's a coaster that a fabric coaster where you can wash. And that's the good thing about this, you can just throw it into the washing machine. And this is another coaster. It's not complete. I didn't finish the bottom here. It's made from cardboard, scraps of material. These are simple workshop ideas. Then these are some card holders. This one is from a recycled bag, shopping bag, and this is from a denim. I think this was a skirt, and this is from a scrap material. So, and then these purses here, I call these the earpod holders. You can put coins in them. And this is from the lamp. Let me show you. They were made by using these light shades. They were made with these light shades. So basically my thing is about upcycling, reusing what you have. You know, you have pre-loved materials, or any material actually. A material doesn't have to be fabric. This is a material. Well, and you don't know what to do with them, you'll be surprised. You will be surprised, honey. Alright, so then I have these tissue holders that I made so that they can see. And these are also from the shopping bag. These are also from shopping bag. This is from a curtain material. This is also from, I think this was a dress. And these are scrap materials. It's from a shopping bag as well. No, and then this is the lampshade here, and I made this purse from the lampshade. And believe you me, this purse, this kind of material, you know, they're waterproof and they're very durable. So it's a wallet type of thing. You can put your coins in here, you can put your notes here, and then you can put your cards here. What I did is just made them up so people can have an idea as to what they can do. Right, so that's it. And then these are some of the materials used. So I have these in place in my folder so they can see and feel the material. And that's basically it. So that's all I wanted to do, was just to show you guys just a few things. As I said, it's just a chit chat day today. Chit chat day, and then I'm gonna work on that bag because I need it for next week. I don't like to wait last minute to do things, because one of the things about last minute is that you're just rushing around, and I don't want to be rushing around. I want to be able to, even the time comes for me to do something or go some. Look, you see this? Look here, hang woman. It's when I'm looking here, it's kind of like you don't know where to turn this, but anyway, okay, so that's fine. Right, so last minute, no, I don't like last minute things at all. I like to do what I have to do, get it done, and I'm just relaxing until the time comes. I don't like the rushing. I don't like, no. I mean, it comes a time when, okay, you might have to rush to do something. That's different. But other than that, why? Every day? No. No, not every day. Rush, rush, rush. All right, so that's it. So let's just go over here, and I'm just gonna start cutting my bag, and you'll see what I'm doing. I tidied up in here last night, so kind of look a bit clean. All right, so this is my pattern that I had here. I'm gonna put the iron on, and then I'm gonna, sometime I might be on the camera, other time you'll see me moving around because I'm doing things, okay? But if I have something to say, I'll just start talking. A chit chat day today. So that's just what it is. I hope everyone is having a really good day in spite of the weather here in this country. And wherever you are, I just hope that you are having a much better day weather-wise. Because it's just, it is just horrible. All right, so when you have your pattern, it's always good. Ooh, when you have your pattern, it's always good to make sure your pattern is nice and flat. So when you're ready to put it onto the fabric, it's nice and flat, and it don't have all these curves and all that kind of thing. Okay. I think I might have to iron this fabric as well. So this is calico material, and this is what I'm going to use to make the sample bag, so that the attendees can see what their bag should look like. So I have this bit here. I'm going to see if that would work. I can always make a shorter bag because I don't want to waste my material. So as you see, this is a little, let me see. Oh no, I don't want that coming up. Let me take this down a bit. All right, so you see this piece right here. This is a piece right here. I don't want to see. So what I'm going to do is use this bit here and just double it over, so not to waste and cut up the material too much. So the bag might be a bit shorter, but I don't mind because it's just a sample bag, so that would be fine. And on your patterns, this is a pattern I made years ago. No, maybe last year. I think I made this. And you always put down your information on the bag. All the information that you need to make your bag, make sure that you put them down on the pattern. All right. Oh, it's the right length. Perfect. So you see it goes right up to the top here where this cutout is. So perfect. I thought it was going to be shorter, but no. Okay, so we're going to make this so that it doesn't waste the material, as I said before. So that's that, and I'm gonna grab my pins And I'm going to pin my fabric and pattern together. Alright, so at the bottom here it says fold. What's going to happen is that it's going to have two halves, but I'm going to join it at the bottom. At the top have sufficient seam allowance with a little bit here, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm going to start to cut out this. Okay, so you can see this here have a little extra left here, like 0.5, and this is about another 0.5 at the top. The 1 centimeter would be for the bottom where I'm going to join instead of having to fold. Took the pins out and bring the top of the pattern all the way to the top of the fabric. Alright, so let me just cut the sides. Always make all your marks. Don't forget to make all your marks. Like for example, the top bit that is going to be folding down, that's where I'm going to notch. I'm going to notch exactly where I'm going to do the turning here. And if you like as well, you could notch the amount of seam that you're going to need to take in. You know, your seam allowance is 1 centimeter. So what I did here was I extend the mark for the straps up to the top. I didn't have that done before, I just had it short. But now I have it up to the top. So the attendees can see exactly where the straps where the straps is going to start and finish. Alright, so I think that's all the markings for my bag. So I'm going to set this aside and then I'm going to cut the straps out. I love the idea of sewing. I absolutely love. It's a good talent to have. It's a good skill to have. So you can make your own stuff in it. So that I get the full length. Alright, so that I get the full length of the strap here, instead of having to join it right at the very end. We have that straight line here. That will be perfect for the straps. And hopefully it's the full length. Oh yeah. Alright, so that's that. Let me measure this and see. Alright, so this is 4 almost 5 centimeters. So because this is double, I'm gonna have to cut it 10 centimeters. So I'm just gonna straighten the top here and then cut it. You know, there's a lot that goes into sewing, you know. There is so much that goes into sewing that a lot of people don't realize. So one, if you don't do it right, it's not gonna come out right. So it's best to get it correct the first time. So my strap here is gonna be 4 inches. That's about 10 centimeters wide. And the seam allowance already added into this, so as long as the seam allowance is already added, you can just cut it straight. Now when you're cutting, a lot of people, when they're cutting, they think they have to lift the fabric like this and then cut. There's no way you can lift it and cut and then expect it to be straight unless you know what you're doing. Always place your hand on the fabric away from the scissors cutting area and then you cut. I like to get rid of my scraps right away. Okay, so these are my 2 straps. I'm going to cut that there in 2. Alright, so we're just going to put our pattern away because we don't need this anymore. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so that's that. What we're going to look for now are our thread. So you can see the different threads that I have here. And obviously the fabric is cream type of color, so we can choose one. I like sometimes to sew it with a different color so people can see exactly how you want it to, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to choose the right color thread. Alright, and then we're going to go over to the machine and do what we're doing. As I'm doing this, I realize I'm coming across certain things that I want to talk about that I see in my workshop. Alright, so this is a bobbin and it's like not even half full, it's like quarter full. I don't know if you can see it, regardless, right? And somebody would have, for example, this whole bag to sew, right? Knowing that you might make mistakes, you might have to rip out some things and then start over. That's thread using up and wasting. Some people would put this bobbin put this bobbin right in the machine without thinking, oh, maybe I might need more thread. No, they just don't. And when you tell them fill the bobbin to the top, just fill it up, right? They'll be like, but it have thread. You know, when people don't listen, it's a very bad thing. If you want to learn, one thing you have to take time and do is listen. Right? So I would always recommend, no matter what, I always, anytime you have something to sew this much and you have this much bobbin and this is the thread you need, that's okay because that's all you need. From looking at it, you can tell that you have sufficient thread, right? But you're making a whole project. This, it may not use a lot of thread, but it will use more thread than this. So you often tell people to fill it up and they don't want to know, because sometimes people want to rush. If you want to learn something, you cannot rush it. You know what I mean? You just cannot rush, especially if you're learning. Take your time, and meanwhile you're doing the thing, grasp what is being said to you. You know, take on what people are saying to you, because obviously if you want to learn, you have to listen. Anyway. Right, so I'm going to fill my bobbin. Put that here so you can see what I'm doing. Although it's nothing you have seen me doing this before, so it's nothing. Oh, that's new. Okay, so that's done. Alright, so on this overlocker here, this overlocker here has black thread, but I'm just gonna leave the black thread because obviously this is just a sample. The overlocker here has black thread on it. I'm just gonna leave that. The other overlocker is packed away, so I'm gonna leave that and use the black thread. It's just a sample, so that's fine. Alright then. So what we're gonna do first, let me do this. I'm gonna make up my so I'm gonna make up the straps, and I think I also have a video showing how to make your straps. So say if you want to make it thicker, if you're making a different bag and you want to put fusing or whatever in the bag, then this is when you go ahead and do that. But right now these are just simple shopping bags. So when you want to make the bag, when you want to make the straps, you double this in half and you press, right? It's always good to this is the same principle as when you're making bias binding. The only difference is that the fabric is going to be on the bias. Alright, so when you do that, I'm looking for, my strap is going to be about 1 inch wide. Yep. So I'm going to turn half in and make sure that it measures just what it's supposed to measure. All right, so you have half turned in here, then you're going to turn the other half in. All right. And you also use steam so that you get a nice finish with your pressing. All right. So once you finish that, see you have, first you turn it in half, right? And then you turn one half, then you turn the other half. So everything should be nice and flat like this. And then once you're done, you turn it over onto the one side and you press. Make sure that you have the full size, the full width of your band that you want. And I think these strap size are perfect. Well, they're okay. Not perfect, but they're okay. I mean, they are the same size to the pattern. Right, so if I take my pattern, and you can see from that point to that point, that's an inch. And if I go here, it's the right thing. All right, so after that, I just go to the machine and I stitch down this side all the way. And if you like, you can put another stitch all the way so you give it that real nice finish. So I'm going to go ahead and press the other band. Alright, so I'm gonna just go ahead and stitch the bands and prepare them for the bag. Right, so this is the strap all done, and you see, if it's once it's sewn on both sides, it looks so much neater, and that's what I like. Alright, so we're gonna put that aside. Alright, put that aside. And then we're going to close the bottom of the bag. Alright, so this is the bottom of the bag. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to show you guys how to make a front seam. And I think this is the perfect time to show you. This is only one way. There's different ways, but this way is quite simple. So remember, you have your two fabric here. Right, this is your two fabric here. So what we're going to do, the top piece, we're going to bring it down up to about 0.5 from the bottom of this, or the top of this, however you want to say it. So basically this is what you do. You have the bottom piece and this the top piece. So you're going to just bring it down slightly below. I don't know if you can see this, like this is right here. This, the top bit is right here, and then the bottom is just slightly longer. And that's what you do there. So that's the first thing you do. I'm going to pin them together. Right, and this longer bit, this one here that's under, it's about 0.5 extra, you know, that's what you leave out there. Okay, so once you do that, you just put a couple of pins to hold them together right here. I always wanted to do a video showing you how you do a front seam. I'm going to show you this one now because this is the perfect opportunity. Okay, so I hope you see this. Let me bring this up a bit closer. Right. Okay, so I think you can see that now. Right, so you have This is the back, and then this is the front. I'm just gonna say back and front. It's not really back and front, so you can see the difference. Okay, so that's 0.5. Okay, so 0.5, and then you're gonna stitch. Let me mark this, so with that you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna mark this so you can see that better. And this is why it's important to cut your fabric straight. So this is 0.5 here. This is right where the mark is where you're going to place the top half of the bag. So you place that exactly on the 0.5 line. All right, so that's where you put that. Then to stitch, you're going to stitch another 0.5. Alright, so you're going to stitch right here. So overall what you're doing is taking in your 1 centimeter right here. Okay, so we're just going to go to the machine and we're going to stitch along this line right along here. Alright, so you see the line that we're going to stitch right here. So that you can see it closer, this is the 0.5 we took in. We mark first, not took in. This is 0.5 we mark first, and then you place the top bit right at the edge where you mark, and then you mark another 0.5 along here, and that's where you stitch. Alright, so that's that. You take your pins out, and we're going to go to the ironing board now. Alright, you open up your fabric. You open up your fabric like this, and you see this side where you have that 0.5, we turn it this way, so that's the way you turn it, and you press that. Alright, you can always turn it onto the wrong side, onto the other side as well, and you press the seam open. Just make sure that it's nice and flat. Alright, so on this side, the first 0.5 that we mark at the top here, that's what we're going to fold under. We're going to fold this under. When you fold it under, you press it. I think I'm going to put this way. Alright, so what you do, you fold this under. Right, that's what you do with that. You fold the 0.5, the first 0.5 that you mark, and you place it. You fold it under and you press. Yep, and that's it right here. But what we're gonna do is just go over to the machine and stitch it right onto the edge, a fine stitch onto the edge going along it. Alright, and that is your French stitch. Yep, that's one side, and then when you come over to this side, you can see how neat it is going down here. Right? And that's that. Alright, so now we finished with the French hem, and what I'm going to do next is basically put a crease right across where the strap is going to be. Remember, you had your notches. That's why your notches are so important in your sewing, because they're basically there to guide you, you know, so you know what and where your stitch or seam, whatever it is going to be. Okay, so that's that. We're going to get the straps now. And we have our straps here. Right, this need to go back a bit. Right, so we have our straps here. Okay, so it's two straps we have, and you have your straps like this in your hand, right? So you're just gonna, once you make sure everything is, the strap is nice and flat, right? And you hold one end, you hold the other end, and you just do that, right? But you have to remember where they're gonna be. I have my notches up top, so I know my strap is gonna be right here. Okay. All right, so make sure everything, your strap is in place right here, and then you just pin them in place. Always check to make sure your straps are straight. Other than that, you will have a problem. You will stitch and then stitch again and have to take it out. All right, so I would lift the top again, pick my strap up, and just make sure to put them in the correct place. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go to the machine and I'm going to attach my straps, and then I'll show you the rest of it. Alright, so I'm going to stitch this right across, stitch my straps right across just to secure them where they're supposed to be. Okay, so you see right across where the seam is. Right, let me just bring this in a bit more so you can see. Right, so right across where you see the seam is, you're going to stitch right across there, and that would be extra support. The rain has stopped, you know, which is really good, because sometimes the rain can just dampen everything, put you in a mood. Alright, so the next side, here we go. Okay, so as you can see, I already have all of them stitched, and they're right in the seam. It has to be in the seam, or else you're gonna lose some length on your bag. Space is what I don't have. I don't have sufficient space. Alright, so this is the right side of the bag. So I'm gonna put the right side to right side, making sure my notches are matching. And you clip that together. And you do that on both sides. So this should be right at the bottom here. Make sure that your seams, just make sure that the seams are correct. So I have a cutout here for my square sides. So with this, one side is 5 centimeters and the other side is 4 centimeters. So the 5 centimeter side is the one that you put going up towards the strap, and you place that down. Right, and you just mark that here. Yeah. you like, you can put a couple of pins just to hold this in place. Okay, so you mark the two sides. Then I'll cut that out. Alright, so before we do anything at the bottom here, we need to stitch our sides closed. So I'm going to go back to the machine. Alright, so I'm going to overlock the sides. But what I wanted to mention is that one of the reasons why one side of the card is 5 centimeters and the other is 4 centimeters, and the position that you place it. If I place, say this is the 5 centimeter at the top and the side is 4 centimeters. So say for example I turn it this way, where the 5 centimeter is at the bottom and the 4 centimeter is here. By the time you come to close this up, this would end up, the top bit would end up 3 centimeters, and it would not match that. So this is why at the side, the bottom should be 4 centimeters, and the piece that's facing the top where the strap is should be 5 centimeters. So when you stitch in the 1 centimeter, they both would have the same measurement. I hope I make myself clear. Right, so I just finished overlocking the sides, and I used the black overlocker threads. But if I had to do this material, I mean if I had to make this bag to sell, it would be the same color as this. By the way guys, go over to my website Malka'sGlowUp.com and you see some wonderful bags over there. Just check out my website Malka'sGlowUp.com. Alright, so once you finish that, you're going to press this and you're going to press the side. Well, not before we do the bottom. Okay, so when you finish with this, you're going to bring the square together, and you can see how the squares match perfectly because they're the same measurement, 4 centimeters wide. we're just gonna stitch right across, keeping in mind your seam allowance is still 1 centimeter. Right, that's that. And you do the same thing, and also you watch where your seam turn. My seam is turning this way, so I want to make sure that this seam is turning in the same direction. Right? I'm just going to overlock my edges now. The bottom of my bag is done. See the corner here, and you have the other corner here. Alright, so we're going to focus at the top where the straps are. Alright, make sure your seams are facing where they need to. Then you're going to fold the top down and you place a pin right there. You do the same thing to the other side. Make sure your seam facing the same direction, and you do the same thing over here. Just gonna put a couple of pins here so that it hold down the top facing. Okay, so at the bottom here we're gonna turn up the 1 centimeter seam. So we're just gonna turn this under 1 centimeter and we're gonna press this. So I just finished pressing the top of the bag. Right? So I press that down so everything is nice and neat here. So what I'm going to do is just go around the top and stitch it. I'm going to start in the side seam. So when you finish, you would have a nice finish going around there. So, turn your bag inside out and just push out your corners. Yeah, push out your corners. You trim all your threads. And that's your bag. Easy peasy. Right? So, and this is the bag. This is the finished product right here. So very, very easy and simple for beginners. You know what I mean? Very easy and simple. Put your bag on your shoulder like this and you're good to go. And guess what? You can be proud that you make your own bag. There's nothing to it at all. You can also do extra things to it if you like. For example, you can make it into like the paper bag style bag. So right at the bottom here, you can do additional things. You can, you know, just steam press the corners here first. Right, just steam press the corners here like this first. And then you can measure, make sure that you measure to see how wide. You see, make sure you measure to see how wide half of this is. So you measure going up, and you can give this a nice stitch. Going up right here, like a paper bag style bag. Right? Either that, you can stitch it, or you can just give it a press. Yeah, but make sure and measure. So this measurement is 4.7 centimeters. Right? You do one side and then you do the other. And trust me, this bag would last you a long time because calico material is quite strong anyway. And once you follow these directions, you see, you can just fold it in like this. And just to give it that nice finish, this is what you can do. And then at the bottom, you open it out like that, just like a paper bag. This is why you seam the corners first. And then you can fold your bag up. Okay, pop your bag into your shoulder bag and you're good to go. So so that's it. I hope you liked the video. I enjoy spending my Saturday afternoon showing you guys this cute little bag here. And you know, if you like embroidery, you can also embroidery little flowers or maybe your initials or something right here. Yeah. Take this off so you can actually see what the bag looks like. Yep. That's it. Yep, so that's that. Okay guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your Saturday. Bye.